Welcome. My name is Jessica Holder, and if you are watching this video, you have come across the video tour of my University of British Columbia's Masters of Educational Technology Capstone Graduating ePortfolio. This ePortfolio is a consolidated reflection of my learning, insights, connections, and growth over the past 4 years. Within this video, I will guide you through the pages and intricacies of my ePortfolio design, as well as share some of the thinking and ideas that determine the ePortfolio structure. Before beginning, let me share one of the learning experiences that was particularly impressionable on me, yet I was not able to find a fit for it within the construction of my ePortfolio. While taking the course entitled Technology in the Arts and Humanities Classroom, a video vignette was shared that consisted of an interview with Sylvia Kind in regards to a textile installation that she was in the midst of designing. The art installation included articles of children's clothing that had photos imprinted on them. The photos upon the dresses are not the stories that others know, but are the stories that are silent, the untold stories. Sylvia Kind explains how as educators, a student may be present in our class whom we feel that we know, but in actuality, we only know the stories that the student is willing to share. Sylvia Kind's installation triggers the conversation of what is one's story and how is it being told within one's art, recognizing that art always represents a part of a story that is shared, but also there is a part of the story that remains silent. Within the construction of my ePortfolio story, I find that this is also true. While much of my learning narrative is shared throughout the final product, as I moved through the process, it became apparent just how much of my learning story was going to remain silent. The overarching metaphor for my ePortfolio is based on the 3 pillars of learning found in Charlotte Mason's philosophy of education. Charlotte Mason was an educator from England at the turn of the 20th century who taught for over 50 years. While teaching, she wrote many of her ideas into newsletters and into books. The 3 pillars of Mason's educational philosophy are education as an atmosphere, education is a discipline, and education is a life. To quote from Mason's writings, she states, "Seeing that we are limited by the respect due to the personality of the learner, we can allow ourselves but 3 educational instruments: the atmosphere of environment, the discipline of habit, and the presentation of ideas. Our motto is, education is an atmosphere, a discipline, a life." Let's begin the video tour at the home page, which I have entitled The Welcoming. The title for each main page is found at the top right-hand corner of your screen. You will also notice that on the left-hand column is the menu to help navigate to the main pages within the ePortfolio. Within the main pages, you will find artifacts and secondary pages that are embedded. But the left-hand column always remains available and in view to allow for easy navigation back to the main page that you were originally on. On the welcoming page, I have included a note from me to you. Please take time to read this note as it provides an overview of my thinking regarding the framework of the entire ePortfolio. As well, a timeline is provided on the welcoming page to give an at-a-glance view of my learning experiences over the past 4 years. At the bottom of the welcoming page, you are guided to the framing page. By clicking on this button, you will be led to a framework summary from where you may choose the path that you would like to follow. While the portfolio is mainly structured linearly, there is opportunity to move through by selecting your preference on the framing page. If choosing to move through linearly, please note that the crediting page can only be accessed from the main menu on the left-hand column of your screen. For this video tour, I will lead you through a linear progression of the ePortfolio. From the framing page, let's begin by visiting the atmosphere. Once on the atmosphere page, the exploration is quite linear. While scrolling through, you will notice that occasionally linkages are provided to accentuate meaning for the reader. When clicking on a linkage, you will be led to a new page. In order to return back to the ePortfolio, simply close the Pages tab. As you continue to scroll through, you will encounter beautiful pieces of art. Each piece of art is linked to an artifact. The art for each artifact is intended to be somewhat symbolic of the artifact's content. Charlotte Mason fully supports growing in the knowledge of art through simple picture study, and by incorporating art within the ePortfolio, I feel that I have grown in my own knowledge of art and am able to share this beauty with my readers. Each piece of art is linked to a new page, so again, click on the Page tab to return to the ePortfolio. At the bottom of the page, there is a button linking you linearly forward through the ePortfolio or backward to return to the framing page. It is your choice. The Disciplines page is structured very similarly to the Atmosphere page, and so I will scroll to the bottom and click on the button to visit the Life page. The Life page is my favorite page, as it offers a feast of learning spread out for the reader. Many of the artifacts offer resources that can be considered valuable to the practicing educator. One aspect of my ePortfolio that was important to me in its construction was that it would be meaningful and purposeful to others and offer opportunity for collaboration. By offering resources to other educators, my hope is that they would be inspired to pursue best practices in their own instructional spaces. The feast can be found at the bottom of the Life page and consists of 9 artifacts connected to 9 areas of study. Charlotte Mason believed in offering her students a wide and varied curriculum. My artifacts are only a sampling of Mason's aspired feast. By clicking on an artifact in the feast, you will be led to a new page, and from there can link to the next artifact in the feast, or return to the Life page. A literature sample, a composition sample, a history and social studies sample, a music sample, a mathematics sample, a nature and geography sample, a citizenship sample, and a citizenship and health sample. If you visit the last sample in the feast, the Robo Sapien Citizen and Health sample, you will need to return to the Life page before continuing through the ePortfolio. After the Life page, you may like to visit the Commonplace page, and from there, the Reflection Notebook page. Both of these pages are consolidating pages. The commonplace page acts as an accumulation and history of some of the big ideas that I have encountered through the Masters of Educational Technology program. It is simply a keeping of meaningful ideas. The Reflection Notebook page is in response to the process of constructing my ePortfolio. During this past fall, I also have been reading a book by Lori Bestbader entitled The Living Page, which focuses on the practice of notebooking. Notebooking is the essence of constructivism, and in many ways, the blank Weebly pages of my ePortfolio parallel with the blank pages of a notebook, just waiting to be filled with individual meaning and purpose. In closing, I would like to draw your attention to the contact form at the bottom of the Reflection Notebook page. It would be pure delight to receive comments, questions, or suggestions from you.